I just did an equipment implementation, right? And essentially what that means is a personal trainer showed me around all the machines and how to work them and how to do the settings and like all that stuff. And it was actually the personal trainer that I was talking about, the one that is spiritually awakened. And I feel like I might buy some personal training sessions from her. She had a lot of good tips as far as form goes. She showed me how a lot of machines work that I didn't know how to use before. And I feel like if I did 3 or 6 sessions, I could probably get a handle on where my weaknesses are, what I'm doing wrong. And there wasn't like that terribly much that I was doing wrong. My forms were pretty okay, but it's also only our first time interacting with each other. So I'm thinking about doing that. I feel like that would be a good reinforcement that I'm doing the right thing, that I know what I'm doing enough. But so far, I didn't have a problem. There's an energy here of, it's both independence and it's feeling isolated. You can do both. It's almost this energy of like, I don't need help. I don't need somebody to tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. But I think the fact is that I do. Because watching it in videos and doing it correctly are two different things. And I can do the online courses, and I was talking to Gym Crush about this weeks ago. You can learn everything online or in videos, but that doesn't mean that you actually have the physical practice. It doesn't mean that you have the actual knowledge that you get from doing with supervision. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'm going to keep on doing my workouts on my own. I might come in to work out every once in a while too, because I think this kind of broke me open. I wasn't really willing to come in and work out while other people were because I didn't know what I was doing. And I think part of me maybe didn't want to look stupid. But this kind of like gave me a little level of comfort that I would at least be able to set the machines and know what they all do. And like, I know that if I'm trying to get my lats done, then I have these 3 options. And even if a machine is taken, there are alternatives. You know what I mean? That's not going to replace what I'm doing at home. But maybe I can incorporate both. But this energy of like putting yourself, it's almost, I'm hearing putting yourself on the outside. And this might tie into what we were talking about the last 2 days, where you're feeling like defensive to a degree. I think that by putting down this barrier, this defensive energy, you're going to find yourself able to more easily open up to people. I think this mental rift is what's causing the division between you and others. Isolation. It's not just isolation though, it's wisdom. It's knowing where to place your energy. The connections that are in your life right now were guided into being. This is destined. And your impulse to run has saved you many times, but this time your impulse to run is the cycle. So that's what needs to stop. You need to get uncomfortable. Get yourself out of the comfort zone. It's not serving you right now. The comfort zone is your cage. I literally never noticed that this card had other butterflies on it. There's more butterflies in the background, and that's indicative to me right now of other catalysts, other earth angels, other ascended masters, or whatever word you use. In the periphery, in the background, that you are not quite aware of, or maybe you are. but you didn't notice them until it was time to notice them. And this isolated energy might have been necessary for a while in order to highlight what you have to fix right now. But that Empress energy, we talked about leaning back into the feminine yesterday. That Empress energy is where your power lies. And the fact is, in every situation, you're going to find challenges. The question here is, are you going to repeat those challenges because you ran away from them? Or are you going to look within, self-reflect, because this is not just a portal, it's a mirror. Are you going to self-reflect on why you're running and decide to make a different choice? Decide to make a different choice. We've got 2s and 4s here. Over the last week, I've seen repeating numbers of 222, 333, 444. It's progression energy, evolution, chills for confirmation. And the only thing that's going to stop you from succeeding here and becoming everything that you intend to become is going to be your own 9 of Wands energy, your own wounded warrior. Because it's time to know when to lower your guard, when to take the nails out. That's for somebody that's got a jar. You are powerful, and you know what is meant for you will align. But part of recognizing your own power, part of the wisdom that comes along with this Hermit and this High Priestess card, is knowing when to lower the guard, when to be social. I was talking to my sister about socialization yesterday, right? And we were talking about how at the jobs that I've had, somebody stepping off of the floor to go socialize for 7 to 10 minutes is crazy. You don't do that. That's something that you can get in a lot of trouble for. Most of the places that I've worked, you don't do that. And she was like, no, everywhere I've ever worked, it's okay to step away for 10 minutes and talk to a friend or go on an extra long lunch break. And I'm like, you're crazy. Like, that's not a thing. And she's like, that's a thing everywhere. And I'm like, what worlds? We have lived in different worlds, clearly. But the acceptable efficiency that I was talking about yesterday for me is very different compared to the people that I'm around right now. And I need to recognize that. And by demanding that they meet me at my standard, when the context has changed, might not be the correct action, might not be the correct mentality. So, we need to shift our perspective here and complete this cycle. Releasing fear, doing things scared, being willing to be social and do things in public and accept help when we're not entirely sure that we're doing the correct thing. Being open to that perspective and not just thinking that you know everything is essential. Being trainable, learnable, coachable, teachable, flexible. Flexibility is hard for me. And in a lot of situations, I do know best. But not all the time. That's why I didn't go into this equipment orientation thinking that I was going to teach her something, you know what I mean? Because she's been doing this. She's already got her certification. She has experience. And I have been watching a lot of videos and doing it at home. And that's not the same thing. Your perspective will change your success, and that perspective changes the energy you bring into a new relationship. We have so many things on the horizon for us right now. Change is going to be part of this. Adjustment and adaptation is going to be part of this. And I'm proud of you for not letting your stubbornness outweigh your intelligence or your adaptability or your tenacity or your desire to thrive and make good connections.